everybody. So my name is Josie, and I'm going to give you a little bit about me, as I know that we're going to have a series of shows coming up. And so now you can understand sort of where I came from, what I'm doing, and yeah, I'll get into it. So I'm originally from North Carolina. I came out to school in Arizona. I came out to Arizona for college, and I graduated with a finance degree and a French minor. I basically lost almost all of my French. It's been a few years since I've been in school, and because of the pandemic, I wasn't really able to practice it, but hopefully one day I'll be able to go. I love to travel to France and really get back into it and hopefully become fluent again. So that's a goal later down the line. But I have a finance degree. Ever since I was a kid, I was always really into finances. I wanted to work. So I would beg my parents for work. I just wanted to be making money, and because I knew that there was a lot of power behind it, and I was always really good at saving and managing it since I was a kid. So I wanted to help other people do that. Hence why I got a finance degree, thought I was going to be a wealth advisor. My path, like most people's, it ended up not being that way, which I'll get into a little bit later, but I've always been a hard worker. I had like 5 jobs when I was in college. When I graduated, I had to stay an extra semester, and my scholarship ran out. And I was out of state. So I did not want to take out a loan. I knew the interest, I knew what it did for people. So I just said, okay, game on. I'm gonna work 5 jobs and not have to pay off a loan. So luckily I had saved up for out of state, but I essentially got in-state tuition. And that was amazing because then when I graduated, I had some money left over. That's when I planned on using my French minor, and the pandemic hit immediately. So once the pandemic hit, I had always wanted to start a business. Entrepreneurship was in my blood. My grandfather had his own business. My dad had his own business. And I said, okay, well, I guess now is the time. I've got all the time in the world too. So why not now? And so I had to think, okay, what experience do I have the most of? And from my internship, I had 4 years of digital marketing or social media experience working with a local home loans officer, but I'd worked with a couple other people. I had somewhat of a client portfolio from people, so that was really cool. And I said, okay, like I already have a couple clients and I might as well make a business out of it. That's the most experience I have. I already sort of have it, so why not? So then once I started my business, I learned a ton, got into the digital space, got into marketing, wanted to learn how to market myself. I tried to grow out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my boyfriend was a gamer. He always grew up being a gamer. You guys will meet him soon. And he just had this love for it. He was always on his computer, always gaming. And then he started streaming, and I thought, I could totally do that. This looks easy. I'm gonna give it a shot. It was a lot harder than I expected, to be honest. It definitely took a lot of effort, but I took a lot of the skills that I had learned from my digital marketing business. I thought, okay, I can do this better than most people because I have a marketing background. And I built up my TikTok. I had over 10,000 followers within a month or so. I posted every day, 3 times a day, and built that following. And that's how I created my funnel into my Twitch. So I worked really hard for that. It was definitely a journey, and it was wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So that is a little bit about me. That's a bit about my journey. I still have my business. I'm still streaming. I took a little bit of a break. I'm about to get back into it though. I wanted to really focus on my business, but we're about to get my boyfriend on here, and he's gonna talk a bit about his experience. His gaming, like I said, ever since he was a kid, he's always been a gamer. He's always been into first-person shooters, and he was able to apply for partner on Twitch. So he's also had a different journey than me, and he did a lot better on Twitter. So we'll talk about a little bit of our experiences and what it's like being in a relationship with being gamers and advice that he has, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in. Hello. So I don't know if you heard me, but I was telling people a little bit about your background, but Nader, if you want to tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get into your gaming journey.
All right. Well, my name is Nader, and I have been gaming for over 20 years now. But
God, we're
besides
old.
that, yeah, we're old. Besides that, I graduated from college about 3 years ago, and I had been working a serving job while pursuing a lot of gaming career stuff. And then eventually I flipped away from that and started working at a startup. So I've been working at a startup for the past year and 9 months. Besides that, I was born and raised in California, in Los Angeles. And I was there for 18 years before coming to Tucson, Arizona to go to the University of Arizona for college. I finished with a degree in management information systems. And yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So tell us a bit about your gaming career. So I know that you've been gaming since you were a kid. What got you into it? Like, let's talk about that. Just a quick, like, high-level overview, and then we can dive into some of the other stuff. But give us a bit about your journey, about even how you've been streaming, everything like that. The games that you've played. Yeah.
So all of that, I think, would start with me first gaming. I started gaming on the PC because my dad was a huge computer person. He was a computer engineer. So I was playing computer games. There's a lot of shooter games he had. I played Quake when I was like 5 years old, which is one of the OG first-person shooter games. And so like I'd always been into games since then. Then one time I was in the 6th grade, and they had these Halo tournaments that were on like TV, like the actual TV, like I think it was like some weird like off-channel thing. But I was amazed by it. I was like, wait, they actually like compete in video games? I didn't think that was like a real thing.
What year was this?
That's like 2008.
Okay. Oh my
so
God.
yeah, that was a while ago. But just when that was happening, it was Halo. I think it was Halo 2 that was being filmed at the time. Or no, it was 2006. It must have been.
The OGs are going to know exactly what.
Yeah, I think it was 2006, but it was actually Halo 2 that was being televised. And just I was watching that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, I want to get into this. This seems awesome. But so then I actually like did the math, because like I was thinking, okay, if I did this full time, how much money could I make? And I would only be able to make like $60,000 to $80,000 a year at the time as a professional. And I thought that was not like enough to like have a career. Like even I knew at a young age that was like not enough. So I was like,
some people right now are like shaking, saying, "Oh my gosh, I'd kill to have that, though." You know?
No, but so I looked into it, and I was like, okay, this doesn't seem reasonable, because gaming wasn't as big at the time. But lo and behold, as soon as I went to college, and right before college, I was playing like Counter-Strike and just any other shooter game that was coming out. I was always playing with my friends. College happens. I leave my PC at home because I'm like, hey, I want to go and just like actually be active in college and like meet people and not be like nerding out the entire time. So I missed like H1Z1, Overwatch, all these huge games that came out.
Do you wish that you had brought your PC? How different do you think it would have been? What would you tell other kids that are maybe debating bringing it to their dorm? And did you know anyone else who was? Or who
so I do know people that bring their PCs to their dorm. There's a lot of people that do. The people that I actually knew that did that were pretty healthy about it. It was actually one kid. He was I call him hacker, because he literally hacked into the school's computer system in high school to change his grades, and he got in trouble for it. So the U of A was the only school he could come to. But he was not like a giga nerd. He was like a super intelligent, but also like super cool nerd. And you don't find a lot of those out there, but just like when it came to like nerdy stuff, he was so technical, like you wouldn't understand half of the things he said. But so some people can do that when going to college. Personally, I think it was the right move that I did what I did, because I really think that you should be able to fully enjoy like that first year experience, especially if you're in like a dorm. Like try to meet as many people as you can. And you don't have to be friends with everyone, but just try to like say hi to literally everyone that you can, because it is going to be one of the easiest times in your life to like meet a lot of people. So you want to just go through and be like, hey, like just realize like, hey, like maybe the first 100 you're like, I actually don't like these first 100, but then you find someone that you're like, oh, this is actually like best friend quality or something. I don't
Well,
know.
my experience too, and I know you had a tough time as well, because we both came, you knew more people than I did, but I came not knowing a soul. And I didn't even realize being in the dorms, even if it was a little bit of a pain sometimes, but to this day, that's how we met. And that's how all of our closest friends are together. And you really do have to put yourself out there and just stick through it, even if it seems really tough. I think I cried when I first got there. I was with a bunch of sorority girls. It was only sorority girls. And that's just not the people that I clicked with. It wasn't my group. And I was so frustrated because it was the only people that were there. And yeah, I definitely think if you're going to college or anything like that, like talk to your people, talk to everybody, and just stick through it for at least a year to get past. Yeah.
I think that the first year is just the most important. Just go through that first year and push through it. Even with me, I think like my 3rd month in, I was like not having it. I was like, I don't think this is for me. I think I should go back. And it was a struggle, and it still didn't feel that way until even later. It took like at least another like 3-4 months before I actually started feeling at home. And it's just because you have to find that right group of people. And the only way to do that is to just keep saying hi to people, meet people. And then like maybe it takes a couple times of hanging out with them before you realize like they're good or not. So it's a process, but that happened to me, and I was happy the rest of my way through college, and it worked out for the best.
So would you bring your computer, or what would you tell somebody?
Oh, I said don't.
No? Okay.
I actually think that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to be coding for computer engineering courses, laptop. Just don't bring a actual desktop. You can always come back to that the next year, unless you plan on making gaming a career. If you plan on making gaming a career, then of course you bring it with you. But otherwise, if it's for fun, no. If it's for fun or for competing, but you can take time, no. If you're actually trying to make it a career, though, yes, you take it.
Okay, so then going after freshman year, how was your gaming career? Explain a little bit more.
Okay.
Once you brought your computer, you brought it sophomore year, right?
So my sophomore year, I bought a new computer because my old one just was too old. So I had gotten a new computer sophomore year during my 2nd semester, and just immediately started playing Counter-Strike again. And at that time is when PUBG came out.
Yes, I remember PUBG.
It was a crazy time because I hadn't played H1Z1, so this was my first like battle royale game. So this was like the first time having that whole experience of being with 100 people, like jumping out of the plane. Like it was pretty great. And for me being a lifetime gamer, that was insane. Like I had played games with only up to 64 people, which was still pretty big, but you'd never see everyone in the same spot. Yeah. So to have 100 and just like in the pregame lobby, you were seeing everyone right there next to you. It's like, it really is something else.
It was crazy because that was my first experience into gaming that you introduced me to, which we'll get into that. But I was like, wait, we're running around next to these people, and they're all running around, and you can punch them, and you can do like trolly things to them, and it's so funny. But I love the way that you explained it with PUBG for anyone who's not familiar, how it's like the Hunger Games, you know, where you're all on a plane and then you drop out, because I had no idea. And that I love the way that you explained that. And I thought, oh, that piqued my interest. And yeah, it definitely, for someone who wasn't a gamer at all and didn't even know that world, I was like, ooh, this actually seems fun.
Yeah, and so that's actually a tip for people out there. If you're trying to get a significant other or just like someone that you like to like actually go and try to get into games, you want to reference it to stuff that they like. And so like Josie, I know she likes her movies, she likes her TV shows. So I was thinking, what's something that actually like really like hits the spot on this? And I was like, oh, Hunger Games, because even though it has way less people, concept is still there. Last one alive wins. So just comparing it to that was my way of getting her interested in the idea, and then her being like a trying person, she naturally was willing to try things. And
I'm so competitive too, and so I liked that.
She's very competitive, so she gets very upset when she first started playing. She was very upset all the time because she just like she felt like she could do so much more, but she just didn't have like the actual mechanical skill to do anything because she just started playing, and she didn't play on controller. She went straight to mouse and keyboard, which is like a lot of people don't start mouse and keyboard first thing. So I was pretty impressed with that as well. That was pretty ballsy.
I didn't even know that was impressive. And then I remember we went over to our friend's house. It was Kenny, and he was playing Fortnite, and I played one round with his controller, and I think I killed somebody or I hit somebody. And I was like, what? It took me forever to get a kill. I remember all my first kills in all the games, including PUBG. And it took me a really long time. But then with that, I was like, wait, this is so easy. But that's kind of the only time that I've seen the difference. But yeah, I still haven't really played controller. I'm kind of scared too, because I do think that the gaming world gives a lot more props and there's some more respect. Sorry to all the console players. I think you guys know it's kind of true, but there definitely is more respect there, and it's like, it's harder. And apparently I just like to do things more difficult or the more difficult way. So yeah, but okay, yes, continue.
So PUBG comes around when I first start gaming again, and I get really into it. So between playing Counter-Strike and PUBG, I'm putting in a lot of hours. One of the updates come out for PUBG, and I start playing solos. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to grind the leaderboard this time. And I got into the top 200 for PUBG for solos, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. And so I was like, And then I thought again, I was like, wait, what happens to all the gamers now? Like, how has it changed? And Twitch was becoming a thing. And so I checked out Twitch, and I was like, wait, you can actually watch. I mean, I remember what Twitch was before. It was actually called TitanTV. And I saw that and I thought it was super cool. But again, I thought it was just like a niche thing. Like, oh, like I'd love to like live stream and have people watch me. But I was just like, I'm not going to do that because no one's going to watch me. I don't make like YouTube videos or anything. There's no one that would like find me. That was like back in 2015. I was just like, that was before coming to college. I saw that.
When do you think Twitch became popular as a whole?
2015, 2016 is when Twitch started taking off.
You have always been ahead of the trends, I swear.
So seeing Justin TV and seeing how it was, because I used to also watch StarCraft 2 tournaments. And there used to be tournaments that were in Korea all the time. So they were always broadcasting them on all these different platforms. Justin TV was really popular for these streams. League of Legends, I started watching early things. I think that was still on Justin TV at the time. But then once Twitch became Amazon, I think that's when it became popular, even though that's when I didn't really know about the platform. But going back around to things, I looked into things. I was like, okay, well, is there money now in this? And I started seeing, okay, prize pools for everything was just like up for games. So you could actually make a living. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's like something I didn't see from before. Now there was more monetization ways. It wasn't crazy at the time like it is now, but people were able to make some money on YouTube. They were able to make some money from sponsorships. And it was actually like a real thing where you could support yourself, not just having to be the best in the world of the game. You could make content around it now. And content existed before, but you could only be with like one agency, which screwed everyone, I think, at the time. But so I saw it as a viable thing where like, hey, like people can make money now. So I decided to start competing with Counter-Strike. And the way that I wanted to start competing was through my college, because we had a esports program. The president of the club, who became one of my close friends, he was a big Counter-Strike player. And these Counter-Strike players that were on the team were like actual Counter-Strike players. I had a high school friend group where only 2 of my friends were like good at Counter-Strike. Everyone else sucked. So when we played, it was mostly for fun. And I'm competitive too, but like I like winning, I like competing, but no one ever wanted to compete.
That's the worst feeling. Ugh.
That was the bane of my existence. I always wanted to compete, even when I was like in the 6th grade, 7th grade playing COD, but I couldn't because none of my friends wanted to. And the one time I tried, everyone got beat so bad that they like literally just
they were scarred.
They just scarred. Yeah. It was traumatic.
They had their tail tucked between their legs and they just did never PTSD.
Yeah. But so coming to college, it was nice to actually be around good players. So I tried out for the team my junior year because it was too late my sophomore year.
Well, and because U of A has an esports club. Did you mention that? Yeah.
And so I went for the Counter-Strike team and I made it on the D1 team. I love my team. I'm still friends with all of them today. And actually, maybe this weekend, we're going to be seeing the CSGO major together because all of us just love CS. It's just, there's something about it. There's something amazing. Even though I don't play it anymore, there's just like a really good spirit to the game.
That was the first game that I ever watched competitively. And I thought we had so much fun. I remember we woke up.
Oh, and it was, this was
crazy. You said this was the craziest one.
So for Josie's first esports experience, like It was the Cloud9 versus FaZe finals of CSGO. And anyone who knows CSGO or esports in general, like, knows that was one of the craziest games because FaZe was the favored champion to win while Cloud9 was the underdogs. FaZe starts like a really strong lead. I think it was like 2-0, and then Cloud9 reverse sweeps.
Yeah.
And just there's double overtimes, triple overtimes, just so much craziness. So for Josie to experience that, and with a whole bunch of nerds that just like know their Counter-Strike.
I love my nerds though. I've always loved my nerds. And I grew up watching, or my dad, he watched football, like big football guy. And that was all we really watched. I could never get into it. I tried so hard. And then seeing CSGO, I was like screaming and so excited. And we all had mimosas, and it was just such an experience. I was so into it. I was like, show me that. Like, what's going on? It was so cool. I will say though, because that was my first, I think that I watched another one with you a year ago or so, and then I was kind of disappointed. I was like, that one was so good, and then the other one wasn't, because that was crazy. Yeah. That was like in history.
And I've watched a lot of esports. So I've seen some crazy things over the years, and I've watched multiple esports. So between like StarCraft, League of Legends, Dota, Apex. Counter-Strike, Apex, all the Twitch rivals, everything, just COD, Halo. I've just been watching esports for a really long time. There are some of these crazy things that happen, and for her to have seen what she saw as the first was pretty lucky.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
Through CSGO, I started competing with our college, and one of our teammates, he was a competitive player that was in MDL for ESEA, which was like basically a semi-professional league. He was that good, and very funny guy. I love him to death. We had a really good team essentially, but one of the issues was some of the teams that we played against, because it was all colleges. It's not like state schools. There are some smaller colleges that were ahead on offering esports scholarships.
Yes.
So there was a team completely comprised of basically like just right underneath a professional league for Counter-Strike. And it was the same team had a pro team basically, and they were for the college. So there was a lot of teams that were like that were really tough to beat. We ended up getting top 16, which I was really excited about. We beat ASU, which is our rival, so that's always a win.
Yeah.
Anytime that we were on a team, we did not lose to ASU, so that's something that I'm always pretty proud about.
You'll carry that with you forever.
Exactly.
As you should.
It was streamed. I'm pretty sure that I could actually find a stream of what happened. And yeah, it was. Yeah, actually, I think that we do have a stream still up somewhere. I need to go and find that. But so Counter-Strike was kind of my gateway into like actually competing. Loved it. And then
you did have a lot of ups and downs though too.
I did. It's not easy. Competing is not
intense.
easy.
And also I didn't realize how much drama that there would be with teams, and
there's
so much toxicity as well.
With my college team was great. That's the one team that I think it was like the most fun, because like we were all competitive, we all wanted to win, but we also like had our fun together.
Right.
But any of my other teams after that, like I had some teams that with really nice people, but there were other groups that were just toxic.
Oh
and
my gosh.
People are just like stupid, toxic, just like immature. And it's like you kind of realize it because as you get older, there's so many immature kids. Like I thought, okay, usually like I'm under the premise that you want to find a solid younger kid to be on your team, because there's always that underrated talent. You give them the space to grow, like they can become an absolute monster. But 99% of the people that were like that were terrible. I only had one friend that was like younger than me that I saw that was good, that actually went on to like being like really, really good. He's
Mr. Hakulo?
Yeah, Mr. Hakulo.
Yeah, he's Apex. Yeah.
He was on what were the teams? He was on Furia and Xset. Yeah. But he's still competing. But when he first started playing, like he had no one to really like 3-stack with. And so he started getting into Pred and 3-stacking with our group, and
how'd
just
you guys
instantly
meet again?
It was through a random pub.
Oh my god!
Or no, it's not a random pub. I think it was a random ranking. He'd like autofill. It was like some weird circumstance.
Some of the coolest
ever since
people.
We stayed together since.
Some of the coolest people and the best people are from the most random things, or just being in a game, you know. And it's also some of the worst. But, I guess no matter what.
But so before that, essentially I kept playing Counter-Strike. I pivoted over to Fortnite late. I wish that I started early on Fortnite because I was pretty good at the game. Like I don't think and for coming in late, I think I came in the 4th season. I was or no, not even the 4th season. I think 5th season. I was playing very well, and so again, we competed for the university, and we ended up being 2nd in our region. But they only took the 1st place team from each region, which was unfortunately ASU. It was a really rough game. We both played really well, but they ended up beating us. And even though that was disappointing, after that, immediately Apex came out as soon as that season was over. And so I was like, let me play this game. I love Titanfall. And it was from the creators of Titanfall. I literally, I think I pulled an all-night. I know it wasn't all-night. You did. 24 hours. I didn't sleep. I skipped all my classes and just played a bunch of Apex.
Yes. So Apex came out, and then what was next? I know that you played Apex for a while. Did you play that professionally at all or no?
So the first time around, I just played and I hit Pred in Apex. I started competing.
Wasn't it season 2? Nobody says season 3, and a lot of people are like, that doesn't count as a real Pred, but it's because everybody was cheating, right? They were doing the F2 or something.
Yeah, there was people that were actually cheating. So for me to have actually done it, and I was, I think, in the top 1,000 at the time. So that's I feel like fair enough, because I think they made the cap 500, then broke it down to 1,000 again. So I did hit one of those marks. I think that I did really well, and I did get to compete. And even though I didn't do too well competing in Apex, it opened the doors for me to compete in other games. And I had a lot more success with actually games after that point.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we will finish up a little bit more. I know there's still a bit more of your journey, but yeah, we'll do a quick little break and come back. Okay, so we were talking about Apex and how that was your journey with Apex, how you became Pred season 3, and then continue with your journey.
So I continued to compete, became Masters, and in that time I decided to play some other games. So there was Splitgate, and when I was playing Splitgate, I ended up being top 100 in that game. And it was really sad because that game had 2 different times that it had come around and gotten popular, and still ended up dying 2 times. There still was a competitive scene. They had money this time around, but for me, just been through what I've been through, it's not worth trying to stick for something when there's not much, because you have to put in crazy hours, and realistically, you could make more money having an actual career.
And so you've been trying to this whole time as well, ever since you were a kid, you've been trying to monetize on this, right? So that's kind of the story that you're telling and why you're going into things that you have.
And so Twitch, again, was one of the best things to have. And me being part of my university club was really nice because it helped kickstart my Twitch. I was able to actually make friends, and a lot of friends really supported me genuinely, which was really nice. Because you would tell if I was streaming almost every single day for a couple of years. I would have a couple breaks in between where it'd be 2 months off or something. And I noticed how much that killed momentum. But I really did keep trying, and there was several times where I had some big streaks. But having that small community of people that you knew was really nice. And it was really funny because it started off with just a small community of people that I knew. And even here in Arizona, there was people that knew me that I didn't know who they were. I think I went to a Subway, and someone was wait, are you Naders? And I was like, what?
So hold on, wait, we'll get there. So with Splitgate, weren't you in the top 1% or something of the world?
No, I was top 100. So it was top 100 in that game.
And how many people were in there? That was an impressive number for them, right? Or
so I can't remember the total amount of players at that time. But I do know that it did hit the millions the second time around.
So yes, you were Apex Pred.
Well, so actually the second time around, I did hit top 100 again. I was top 30. I think I hit number 27.
Yeah.
No,
in the world, right?
No,
like
it was actually it was 28 because my friends were 26 till 27 and I was 28. And so for Splitgate, we were in that top bit out of a million.
2 and 8 are my favorite numbers. So
lucky numbers.
That's perfect. So you were Pred, you were Masters for Apex. I know you talked about your CS stuff. Then for Splitgate, you were in top 100, then top 26 in the world for that game. And then Hyperscape. That's when Hyperscape comes along, right? And this is where actually, it was crazy for you.
Well, before that, so important to note, the pandemic hits in 2020.
Yes.
And I graduated college right before, and I'm thinking, okay, I can go and just apply, like go for a normal job. I applied and was asked to work at Geico and Enterprise, and both are paying they're paying like above 50 each. It was like 57 and 65 or something. So like they weren't like not bad paying jobs, but I was just like, I just graduated. I really don't want to jump into that. I feel like that's not what I should be doing. So
no, and then also like Geico or one of them, you had to work or was it Enterprise? You worked the weirdest hours. It wasn't worth it.
Like Enterprise was it was like 10-hour day. It was 9-10-hour days, not 8-hour days. Yeah. So I was getting paid for more, which would suck. But then Geico was like midnight shifts or like weird like early morning shifts or like late day shifts. It was like never like a normal schedule, which it's not necessarily bad, but that's just like also like not good if it's not predictable. Like that was just not enjoyable. And it was
there's a lot of bad reviews.
So just a lot of and there's just a lot of weird stuff. But I was just not about it. I was like, no, screw all this. So I decided to take the leap and start gaming. So
I pushed you to do that too, by the way. I'm absolutely fucking crazy. I don't know if we can curse on here, but
I already had a small Twitch following. I've been competitive. This is when I was in peak playing Apex. And I was like, I need to try this. So 2020 comes around. I really start trying to go professional or make this into a career.
My whole thing was, just to rewind, my whole thing with this was that I'd known that you always had a love for gaming and you were really freaking good at it. Like naturally, I mean, getting in those like Pred and top 26 of these games, you were good. And I thought, we're young now. It's the pandemic. We have all the time. You might as well just take that leap. And because I didn't want us to get to 30 or 40 and then you look back and wish that you had done that, even if it didn't work out, like you had to have tried it. You had to have, because you just don't know. So
yeah. And so basically 2020 happens and I start just before even the pandemic hits. I'm full-time, just like I'm trying this full-time. I had a little bit of money saved up. I was like, I'm just going to try to support myself and try my best and try to make this happen. And so full-time, it's happening. Pandemic hits. I go on to pandemic unemployment assistance. And through that, I keep going for several more months. I was competing in Apex, and just what ended up happening was I swapped from Apex to Valorant as soon as Valorant came out.
I forgot about Valorant.
I think there was it was Valorant and Warzone that were out at the same time. Looking back, I should have just stuck with Warzone 110%.
Or Apex,
and stuck to it. Or never left Apex. Yeah. The problem with Apex, though, was that I had missed most of season 2 because I got plat, but then I didn't really play after that. And so because I missed so much time in it, esports and these games are a lot about time outside of talent. Right. Usually the best players, they put in the most time into the game. They don't have to start in season 1 being the best player, but they start playing from season 1 nonstop, keep going. And they end up being one of the better players. So with Warzone, I should have just stuck with it right from the start and not swapped any games from there. But I took a chance with Valorant because I had a CS background. And with Valorant, I started competing with several teams. And I had one team where we really did try playing hard for a really long time. But then we had a really bad fallout with some of the players. So that was just full of drama, not fun. And it made me realize how childish a lot of these people can be. Yeah. Because this is my first time really trying between the Apex situation wasn't as bad when I left the team. It was still a little bit of drama against some people being childish. But playing Valorant, it was just dealing with so many more people. Yeah. There's so many more emotions. And again, a lot of people are just behind their screens all day. You don't know what they look like. And so again, another thing too is that a lot of people are like, oh, hey, I want to go professional at gaming and I'm good at gaming. And there's a lot of people that are, but not a lot of people want to go through the actual motions of it. Like, it's not going to be all sunshines and rainbows and win, win, win on a team. You have to play, get better, learn how to work better as a team. Some people might be lagging on the team. You need to find ways to either like compensate, improve, or like change things up to make things better, because sometimes people aren't like in the right fit, whatever. There's so many things you have to go through as motions, and it doesn't happen in like even a month time. It takes like months and months and months, and if not a year. Like a committed team for playing together for over a year will have much better results than you like swapping teams every 3 months. And that's what I realized with my Counter-Strike team, is because we played together for like literally a couple of years, and it was the same friends. We'd play sometimes separately, but we like competed together. And so we knew how we played, and it almost becomes like second nature, like just like when you're playing an actual sport. I used to play a lot of soccer. And so just like once you play with a team a lot, or with friends that you know a lot, you really do play much better. So after that, I started playing Valorant, got burnt out on Valorant. Things weren't going well. So I decided also I didn't like being on unemployment assistance. I went to go and get another serving job. So I was going to at least work part-time while trying to do gaming. So I started working at a Texas Roadhouse, and I hear this game is coming out called Hyperscape. And so I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And I see a couple of like things about it, and I see some gameplay on it, and I look at the gameplay, and it's a fast-paced battle royale, and it reminds me a lot of Quake, one of the first games that I had played. And so I was like, oh wow, like this is fast-paced, it's really heavy on aiming, like this seems like really tough but also like really cool. I was like, I want to try this out. So the first day it comes out and it's in beta, and I'm like, this is going to be my game. I start playing a lot.
Yeah.
I feel every single hour of my day playing this game that's not, at the time I was like waking up early to work out, and then I just do that or work. That was my schedule. Like nothing else besides that, because I had nothing else to do. So I was putting in like easily multiple 12+ hour days. And even when I was working, like I'd be having like an 8-hour shift, but still playing 8 hours in the day. So I was just putting in as much time as I could, and I was streaming.
And you were so good even naturally. Like I remember when it first came out and you were practicing, and you were just getting kills left and right just naturally on top of that practice and putting that time in.
And one of the crazy things is, in battle royales, people make a big deal about getting something called a 20 bomb, which is when you get 20 kills in a game. And so I had not been good at getting a lot of 20 bombs in any of the other game, in like any of PUBG or
Apex, oh my gosh,
anything else that I'd done. Apex, no, I'd gotten close in both, but I just didn't have enough to hit that. But in Hyperscape, it was literally like every other game I was killing 20. Every other game I was killing 20. And I ended up having like a kill death ratio of like 35 or something throughout the beta, which is like, insane. If you think that, it means I literally kill 35 people before I am killed. Many? And out of like 100 people in each game. So like literally, and I wouldn't even be dying every game. So I'd be playing and I'd like win 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row without dying.
Yeah.
And it just kept stacking up.
That's
and
crazy.
So it was, once I'd seen that, I was like, okay, like this is really my game. So I'm playing, I do really well. I end up becoming the #1 wins in the beta. I'm like #1 in North America for snipes. Like it's just all this like #1 stuff in like NA North America. So I was like, holy shit. Like I'm starting to feel it. Like even though I'm still working, like I'm like, okay, I feel like this is going to be it. Like I really need to keep pushing. But the problem was there was no tournaments or anything coming out. So I'm like, okay, there has to be an esports scene. So I created a whole Discord with my friends, and we started getting like all of the best players together in there. And we built like a huge community of almost like 1,000 people that all were like the best players in the game, just like playing, competing. And in that time, there was a Twitch Rivals that had happened, but we didn't get to play in it, even though we were doing really well. Then they had another Twitch Rivals, and this one was different. They decided with this Twitch Rivals, there would be an actual tournament, and they would bring in affiliates. And this isn't like heard of. Like they haven't done this with other games before. So they were allowing people who were affiliates to compete. And if they won, then they got put into the main Twitch Rivals tournament. So I ended up playing with my friends. Our main third had dropped out. And so we had to pick up a new third. And
I just want to say too, throughout your entire Hyperscape, I felt it, you felt it. That was supposed to be your game. And when we say
really
that,
was.
like if you're familiar with Apex, of course, which I hope, because that's my main game, like he would have been the ACU of Hyperscape. And we're not, like, I'm not just saying that. Like
this is what actually had happened, is that with Hyperscape, I started picking up a lot of viewers, like really fast, because they saw that I was #1 in the beta, and so that started getting me a lot of attention. And a lot of these big streamers would finish.
And they think that you were cheating.
Yeah, there are a lot of people.
Everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" Yeah, and then they'd come in and watch your stream, and then they'd be like, "Oh my god, you're insane."
And it was really funny that I had a lot of people accusing me of hacking, but it was just because this is like felt the most natural to me. Like so besides skill wise, like I was really good at the game. I was getting a really big following, and I was supporting all of these people too. What was happening was that at the end of my streams, I would be sending like, it was like at first like 20, 30 people to like all these other like friends of mine that I knew that were good. And then it was like, I was starting to send 40, 50, like 60, 70, and I was getting hundreds of viewers every like day. Yeah. So I think I was getting like up to like 350 at one point. That was like the most that I had like on a consistent.
That is tough. Like for those of you who don't understand Twitch, like getting, even if you get above like 10 average viewers, you're already in the top like 10% of all Twitch streamers out of the millions. So to get 350, like that's in the top 0.01 or like 001 or whatever. That is so impressive. I have never gotten there. I don't know if I will, but fingers crossed one day. That's like crazy.
And so that was like a really big boost for me. And so like of course, with those numbers, I was getting a lot of subscribers. And so I was getting subscribers, donations, all these things. And so I started making money. But the issue that happened was that even though I was #1, I was like getting all this attention, and then I was also spreading that love to people. And then in return, like those people stayed in my streams and kept supporting me too. So it became almost like this huge community network effect where it's like, I'm helping people love me, they keep coming back to me. And it was like really wholesome.
That's when people would see you too. Like,
and that's when they would see me
walking on University, and we went to Subway, and someone's like, wait, are you Nader? Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, that's my boyfriend. It was like, oh my god. And then we went out to another place, and he got recognized again all within a week. And I think it was 3 different times when you got recognized. And it was crazy because you were becoming this like mini celebrity in a sense for at least Hyperscape. It was crazy.
And so it was very brief though, because what ended up happening was the game itself was just a very difficult game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people nowadays, like, unfortunately, like there's no reason for them to play this game if it's difficult, when they can go and play Warzone, or they can go play Apex that they already know how to play and they're like marginally better. It's just not worth trying to learn a new game. And especially when you got people like me who are so good, just running through people. It's not like, it really is not fun. So that was my first taste of actually like making money like from that. And then I got to compete in Twitch Rivals itself. It was really cool, an amazing experience. I would love to be able to compete again. But outside of competing for Twitch Rivals, there was other opportunities that I had. But so basically from there, with Hyperscape losing its player base, like literally in the millions per day, like it was just like instant, it was a very, very, very sad. It would have been the game though, if it were to have blown up equivalently to like Fortnite or anything like that. I would have been one of those up and coming streamers that was just like came from nowhere, like huge, like whatever. It would have been my cash cow. Like that's how I would have had a career in gaming, all that stuff. It's just that the game itself, it just did not attract the right market. So also, didn't they have other issues as well that they didn't fix? There is a lot of other, the major issue was just, I think it was too hard of a game for a lot of people. And they should have been, again, people that I like making only a battle royale game, but there needs to be more still. That only really worked with like Apex and a couple other games. Yeah. But I think that it could have been fleshed out better. I have to say too, even from somebody, because this is, I think, before I got into Apex, or it was around the time when I started getting into Apex, because I remember like the only reason I got into Apex was because you were playing it so much and I wanted to participate. And it was kind of like PUBG a bit as well, so I could kind of understand it. And then you switched over to Hyperscape, and I wasn't interested in it. I was already set on Apex, and I hadn't really been streaming. But even for somebody who hadn't
known Hyperscape or even like new gaming as much, that it was so cool to watch you. Like when you were getting your 20 bombs every other game, it was so, even my dad, like our parents would watch him on stream. His mom was in there. She was so cute. And then my dad, who didn't even understand, because I'm sure a lot of gamers get this as well. If they're family members, it's common that people are like, what's Twitch? Or why do people watch you? Or why do people like watching people play? It doesn't make any sense. But if you just tell them, it's a lot like football, you know, if it's a sport. And so I was explaining that to my dad. He was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And we would watch him in his tournaments. And it also sucked for you because you, like, I felt like, and this is what I always said too, even when you were in it, it felt like it was always something, whether a teammate dropped, whether somebody was being toxic, whether you ended up getting farmed or your internet crashed. Like, it just felt so unfair, your whole journey. But I just think it wasn't your time. I still see like a future for you, and I know that you love it and it's just in you. But like, I felt for you so bad. It really just seems like.
Yeah, I don't like to blame it on other things, but it was just unfortunate. Yeah. This genuinely, like, there's a lot of things that it did happen. So
I'm the first person too to be like, no, your ass, or no, it was something else. And even seeing it secondhand, it was so frustrating. I was getting so frustrated for you because it really was things like internet. It wasn't just because you weren't good, or it wasn't just because of the team or something. Like, it really just felt.
Internet itself wasn't one of the issues. It was just there are so many things out of my control that kept happening.
Right.
And just because it kept happening, things out of my control, like if things are out of my control, I can't blame it. And then on top of it, just a lot of people are non-committal. So having to deal with like hundreds of non-committal people on top of it it's tough. But so after Hyperscape, I decided to take a stop with gaming and just focus on career stuff. So I started working crazy hours, got into crypto, got into NFTs. And then through NFTs, there was NFT gaming tournaments. And so there's a couple of competitive tournaments because of NFTs.
I forgot about
this. And so that actually rounded out my overall earnings because of gaming, which was crazy because all of a sudden it gave me a second avenue again to like try and do this again. So I did get a second chance, and I did make some money. It was from PUBG. PUBG was the game that made me a lot of money. Right? So PUBG, I actually made quite a bit.
Okay, wait, hold on. I wanna pause for a second and explain. For those of you that don't know, NFT stands for non-fungible token. It's become very popular lately, especially in the last couple of years. It's basically, how I like to describe it, it's a digital asset. So let's say that you have an art gallery and you walk in and there's an artist that has 100 different pieces. And you say, oh, I want to buy that piece. And they're all from that same artist, but there's some unique traits about it, or maybe they're totally unique. It just depends on the artist. And so an NFT is basically like a collection of digital art in a sense. And then some NFTs of that, like let's say that you have that painting, some of them also have real world utility or online utility. And what utility means is, let's say that you buy that piece, then that gives you access to like a club that you wouldn't be a part of, or like a subscription you get, or like a membership, or you get, or like a network
of people. So there's a lot of different things that can be done with it. I know some people have mixed opinions of NFTs though. So just overall, 99% of things in that world can look like scams or be scams, but there's an actual good 1% of things that are genuine, that have real value.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily about the price, it's about the technology and how cool these things are. So it's really promising. There's a lot of cool things with it. But regardless, I was able to actually make a good chunk because of that.
I guess the best way I should have described this, because we're talking to gamers, is like getting a skin in a video game. If you get a skin, that's like your NFT. That's how I should have explained it. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
So we're talking to gamers.
There you go. So yeah, like with CSGO, I have like a rare knife that's worth right now like $400, $500. And so with that knife, it is like basically me owning that knife is like me owning an NFT. I can go and sell that NFT off to someone else, or I can keep it myself, but it's digitally my asset. If I go log into my Steam account, not on my computer, on someone else's computer, and log in, my knife is there for me. So it just follows me wherever I go. That's basically the same concept as an NFT, except you get to sell it. You have full ownership of it. A lot of cool stuff. But I think
talking about the NFT, what was the NFT called? Do you want to explain that, the specific one that you?
Yeah, so actually it's Alex Becker's NFT. It was called Neo Tokyo. And so Alex Becker, he's a famous YouTuber, and he had created this NFT called Neo Tokyo Citizens. And there's all these riddles and crazy hoops and ladders that made me want to, like, I really hated them, like, a lot of the times. Like, it was really effing annoying, but it was worth it in the end because I made some really amazing connections. It gave me a chance to game and compete. And even though I don't have the NFT any longer, I plan on getting back into the community at some point because there's some really brilliant people. And, like, I mean it with these NFT things. It is one of the best ways to be able to get away into a network when you don't have a network.
Like, Ryan Pineda hired you. So Ryan Pineda is a real estate mogul. I actually was on his marketing team which is crazy. It's such a small world, I swear.
So we both ended up working with Ryan Pineda just at different times. I helped create like a guild for all that gaming stuff to go on for Neo Tokyo at the time. And so it was really cool being able to work with him because, like, I'd see his YouTube videos. I was like, oh shit, like, that's super cool. And I wanted to get into real estate for, like, years and years. So, like, it just lined up with cool things. I was like, oh, that actually seems really interesting. So regardless of NFTs, you are able to network with some of these crazy people that you never would normally have access to. And it's kind of crazy how you're able to, like, get through to do those sorts of things.
I'll also say too, this is a whole other separate topic, but just to briefly touch on, I swear gamers were the first ones who really, like, were a part of NFTs. They were already doing things like the digital assets, like you were saying with your knife, and building community, which were the two biggest things with NFTs. And it's funny because Steam was thinking about, or their comments on NFTs, they were like, no, absolutely not, we're not interested. And I just found it so funny because both those worlds really were so similar. And gamers basically were the NFTs. So, but again, that's a topic for another time. So it's just funny how that works. Okay, Nodder, I think we should go over some of your clips now of Hyperscape because you have some really, really good ones.
Yes, so
let's take a look and see some of your top clips from your glory days of when Hyperscape was a thing.
So just to give a background about this, I'll just play the games.
Yeah, and then we can talk about it. Okay.
Did you hit it?
Okay, wait, go back and, like, slow-mo or do it frame by frame if you can, because I think that people didn't. It's so...
Basically, what happened here is that it was the last person alive, and I went in wanting to go for a trick shot because a lot of people who have gamed, if you play Call of Duty, it's pretty common. So I do a 360, shoot my shotgun, reload it, do another 360, go pull out my other gun, do another 360, 180, one more 360. I snap and do a graffiti, and then snipe the last person right there.
Look at that. That's the Thanos snap. I love that.
When you see it, it seems like so much is going on, but basically it's just one of those moments.
You're like, yes.
It's basically one of those crazy moments where it's like, I wanted to entertain, and for me, like, you have to be realistic about how your entertainment comes across to other people, because that's how you can maximize your actual, like, Twitch experience. If you're just, like, a boring person that doesn't really talk and you don't have a social personality, but you're insane at games, a lot of those people usually don't use a camera and they focus just on the gameplay, and just that alone can make a lot of people popular. But so there's other people who can be somewhat entertaining. With me, like, I feel like I've got a mix between being competitive with also having a lot of skill and being somewhat overreactive. So as you can see, just like, I'm like,
so we'll talk
I'm
about
just like
that
in the air, just like ready, just
I think we should talk about that on the next show. There's things that I want to dive into about, like, tips for streamers and stuff, which I think will be helpful. But let's do like 2 more clips, or at least like a few more. Let's see some more. That, oh my gosh, you make it look so easy. And that was so far away.
Yeah, and so it's just really crazy to go back some of these.
And do a slow-mo to that part.
So with this, just to show the start. So what happens here is there's a teleport ability in the game. So this thing right over here, basically it's like a flash in League of Legends. You just move to wherever you're aiming. So I teleport, I decide to go and do a 360, and snap. And then I realized there's someone that's probably on that building. I didn't actually see him. I just guessed. And lo and behold, by the time I did my double jump, he was right there for me to hit him. And so it was just impressive to see these things happen in this game because like, it was hard to do these things, but everything's happening so fast that little decision of just looking at the side and going for something.
And on M and K too, mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then again, just like I tried to make like really good, and these facial reactions are what really did help push me because I feel like a lot of people said like, oh, you got some of the best reactions when you hit cool stuff or like funny things. And that's what I realized. I had to really make sure I emphasized doing that besides having high quality gameplay and trying to be engaging with the audience. So just, I think what you said is you wanted to go with some tips for streamers.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Okay, but I do have a YouTube and stuff as well that have a bunch of montages of all of my crazy clips.
Yes.
And so that's something always to check out with a lot of the people. If you do find that they've got cool stuff, you can always find it on YouTube or TikTok nowadays.
Yes, exactly. Which we can also dive into some strategies there, which we will do next time. But anyways, Nader, thank you so much for being here and talking a little bit about your journey. I feel like we literally just hit the surface of it. So hopefully next time we can dive a little bit deeper because there's some questions that I wanted to ask you and maybe some advice for people. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of this and can't wait to see you next time. And thank you again, Nader, for being a host on the show.
Anytime. It was a pleasure.
Welcome to a special shorthand edition of Man Bites Dog. It's the weekly weird news game. My name is Mike Hill. I'm here with Grant Hill.
Grant, you
said Grant Hill, you dip. That's a
basketball player.
Case Hingaville.
You got me.
My hands are normal sized.
Okay, it's Case Hill. That's Case Hill. That paper bag is Case Hill. That paper bag is Grant Hingaville.
No, you're ruining the illusion. We are not paper bags. We are the three of us. People.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
We're here to play a special game today. It's Ding or Bang.
Ooh.
Ding or bang.
Ding means true, bang means false-ish. Also, ding means you got the answer right, bang means you got the answer wrong. It's a little confusing.
So it's not like Marry Kill, because that's kind of what I had in my head.
Guys, I have 10 facts for you, okay?
10?
Grant and Case are going to take turns answering these questions in a true or false style. And
I thought it was Ding or Bang style.
And whoever can score the most
God,
correct
you are
answers
so inconsistent.
will have this game in the bag.
I will ding your bang anytime you want.
Also, as extra motivation, whoever loses today
I'll bang your ding.
will be lit on fire until dead. Today's Ding or Bang topic is weird facts about
Florida.
the Founding Fathers. Similar. Today's facts come from a list compiled by internet history experts BuzzFeed.
Oh gosh.
So yell at them if it's wrong. I didn't bother to research any of it. Are you guys ready to play?
You're so lazy.
I'm going to arbitrarily decide
I want to go first.
that Grant's going to go first.
Yes.
It was arbitrary.
Shotgun.
Fact number 1,
Yep.
Benjamin Franklin was not allowed to write the Declaration of Independence because everyone thought that he would try to put a joke into it.
Oh, I hope that's true.
There were enough jokes already.
Ding.
It turns out democracy's a joke. Heyo!
Yeah, ding it.
Yeah, that's correct. It's true.
Ding
yeah.
it.
Oh, Grant's got a point.
God, how much better would the Constitution be if there was like a joke in it?
Yeah, right? Fact number 2, Thomas Jefferson nicknamed John Adams the Locust. And my dog shook. Are you okay, buddy? Thomas Jefferson nicknamed John Adams the Locust and would often make buzzing noises whenever he entered a room.
Jefferson was a dick.
What an asshole. Yeah.
True.
That is false. Ooh. Case has no points.
It was in Hamilton, so I believe
Yeah, the Locust song in Hamilton was pretty good.
Yeah.
Fact number 3, Thomas Jefferson introduced macaroni and cheese to the United States.
No shit.
That's what we're trying to determine, Grant.
Really?
I don't know.
Case, where does mac and cheese come from? How do you not know this?
I don't know many things.
I want it to be true, but I think it's false. I'm gonna bang it.
Okay, you're gonna go bang. It is
Banging it.
true.
Oh, you really banded Bing and Bang immediately, didn't we?
There's no way. Mac and
I don't.
cheese,
For
really?
some reason, I don't think he personally did that. You know what
Come
I
on.
mean?
It was like, check this out. I melted the cheese on the noodles.
Thomas Jefferson, known for being a great thinker, famously because he had other people doing the actual work.
Burn.
TJF's taking some hits.
What's up, guys? It's Throwing Breaks. I'm Al King, aka Big Al, and it is the debut episode on Titan TV of Throwing Breaks. I'm so excited to be part of it. Titan TV is a fantastic idea. I'm so happy when they reached out to me to do this show. What is Throwing Breaks about? All about sports cards, collecting, trading, investing. That's a scary word, right? Everything under the sun that you can think of. On this episode, we're going to talk about the history of trading cards before there were sports cards, now and even after there's sports cards. We have digital cards. We're going to talk about the history where it started this episode. Then I have a mail day that I've been sitting on for at least a month and a half. I forgot what is in most of these packages, but I knew that we were shooting this episode and I wanted episode 1 to be mail day, so stick around. So as I said earlier, we're going to look at the history of the trading card, sports and non-sport, because before sports came out, believe it or not, there were still trading cards, and we're going to take a look. So trade cards are the ancestors of trading cards. Some of the earliest prizes found in retail products were cigarette cards. Can you believe that they created these cards only to make the box firm? So think about a cigarette box, and it was a little kind of limp, I guess, a little soft, and they wanted to stiffen the box up, and they used these collecting cards, these little cards, to make the box stiffer, right? So as you bought the boxes, you would get these cards inside, and they had no idea that this would take off the way it did. And it eventually became a thing where me, person A, has one card, and I now want to get one card of each brand. So then they caught on to it, and cigarette manufacturers like Allen & Ginter and WD and H.O. Willis in UK, Allen & Ginter US, WD and H.O. Willis in the UK were like, man, we should create sets. We should create sets of these things. And so they started to make like sets of 25. And some of them would be more printed in some of the packs, some of them less printed, right? But then you created loyalty with the customer base, and who would want to go buy and find these 25 different photo things in the cigarette box. So it became a thing that they didn't really expect. And after that, they started putting pictures on it of nature, war, sports. Some of the first sports cards are cricket cards, believe it or not. And I'm gonna have a photo of a few of those here. Cricket cards, they were mainly illustrations this long ago, but the cricket cards, the early first cricket cards from like 1907, this one is. Both these are from 1907, but 1898 is when the first cricket card was created. Isn't that wild? Look at these. And then they moved on to other sports. This is association football, or soccer as we know. Churchman Cigarettes, Birmingham City. On the backside, there's a Churchman Cigarettes label. Hockey. This is from 1910, 1911. Ottawa Senators. This is Albert Doobie Kerr. Allen & Ginter here. Richmond Cigarettes, Richmond, Virginia. It's Adrian Cap Anson. This is from 1887. It's insane. And last we have James Sinclair Dixon for Port Adiale, 1906. This is a soccer card from the UK. Insane. Insane what they used to do for these cards, how it all started. It's a wild journey to what we have today. As you will see in the mail day, where this industry has gone and what the cards look like, it is a wild evolution. And we're going to get right into the mail day. Yeah, so wild what it's come from. I just wanted to give you guys a look at where it all started, what it looked like, and how we got to where we are today. And this mail day that I'm going to have here in a moment is going to show you what these cards look like now. And I'm really excited to get into the mail day. I hope you guys are too. I know there's maybe a couple Kobe's in there. There's always Kobe's in my collection, as you can see behind me. I'm a big PC guy, ultimate Kobe PC guy. Kobe Bryant here, Kobe Bryant here. Kobe Bryant's behind me, Kobe Bryant here. I'll be wearing Kobe Bryant shirts. He was an incredible athlete and an idol and an icon for many, me, myself included. So I'm going to get in the mail day. We're going to see what it looks like. promised, I'm going to go into my mail day. I'm more excited than you guys are, probably. Not going to lie. But we're going to switch to the overhead. We're going to count how many packages I have first, because it's ridiculous. And then we're going to open them. All right. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dookie packs. Shout out Dookie packs. 6, 7. Okay. 8, 9, 10. We're opening double-digit mail days. I know what is in Dookie packs. That's the one I can confirm that I know. So we'll start with this one. I'm not even sure where this one's from. A lot of these are eBay purchases. Some of them come from Whatnot Breaks. If you're new to the hobby, which I'm assuming a lot of you are that are going to be watching this, Whatnot is a platform where you can go buy into breaks. And I guess, you know what? I'm going to have to explain everything. What a break is, everything. There's plenty to learn in this hobby. I wanted to give you the history and then get to this mail day so you guys can see some cards. And then I plan on having guests on all the episodes moving forward. And my guests, we're going to talk on a different variety of all sorts of topics. We're starting with the Trey Murphy III out of Court Kings. It's an acetate rookie card. So as I was saying, the evolution of sports cards, ridiculous. I mean, this is a see-through acetate clear card. You can literally see through it. You think in 1886 they thought we were going to be making cards that you could see through? I highly doubt it. But Trey Murphy III, he's a young kid, second-year guy on the Pelicans who is a very talented scorer and someone that I'm collecting, Trey Murphy. Going into Dookie packs. Shout out Dookie packs. This is a order from Whatnot. We actually made the deal on Instagram, and then he had me order it on Whatnot. It was a first-time deal, so for trust purposes and everything, we went that route. And like I said, I know it's a couple Kobe's. Let's get it out of the plastic. So far, so good on the packaging of the cards from both sellers. This is a 98 Upper Deck choice. Kobe Bryant. PSA 9. I knew he was trying to move it. I didn't really care to pick this one up, but I knew he was just trying to move it, so I said, why not? You know, I really don't turn down any Kobe cards. And this one is a Skybox Premium. Skybox Premium. I love the back of the card. I think the back of the card's cooler than the front, to be honest. 1996, so this is his rookie year. Rookie Kobe Bryant Skybox Premium. And it looks like it's in fairly good shape. The corners might be a little soft, but it's a PC piece, so even if I send it for grading, I'm good if it gets a 7 or an 8. Grading is a 1 to 10. I'm kind of talking to you guys now like you know the industry. And, you know, I think some of you that will watch are going to be industry people already. And if you're not, I hope that you will stick around long enough to learn enough, because the next episodes are definitely going to be educational with all the guests on and everything. This is Yash's Cards. Bella. Looks like a home field advantage. A lot of people collect sets, right? So the home field advantage set's really cool. This is Mookie Betts. Again, going back to the history. Do you think in 1886 they ever thought that the player would be stepping over what looks like a lifeguard tower with a Beverly Hills sign, a palm tree, a film camera, and some LA skyline? I don't think so. Very cool card. I have a few of these now. Vlad Guerrero, Buster Posey, Mookie Betts, and I think I have the Aaron Judge as well. So set collecting is another thing in the hobby where people will go out and they'll get every single card from a certain set. This one is from, drum rolls. Ooh, okay. A little extra packaging. Must be a good card. I cannot believe I don't have my box cutter for this. Slide it out. Maybe. Maybe. It's like duct tape. Usually I like when people use panner tape. Here's another one. Home field advantage. Joey Votto. Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds. He's got... I've never been to Cincinnati, so he's got some Cincinnati stuff. It looks like chili nachos or a chili cheese dog maybe in the bottom right corner. Some sort of bridge. Just another cool card. Another home field advantage. Those are case hits too, which that means there's usually one in every single case. Most cases have 12 or 20 boxes. So it's a much more rare card, a rarer hit. Okay, so this is a break I bought into. It's Pizza Pools. Pizza Pools, they're my guys. I love JP and everyone at Pizza Pools. They're great people. And, you know, I buy into their breaks all the time. We talk. We're hobby homies, I would say. So yeah, check them out if you haven't already on Loop. Pizza Pools on Loop. That's another app similar to Whatnot, but it was actually around before Whatnot. So check them out. Let's see what I got. I got into a break. I think I got the Lakers and Nets. Taylor Horton Tucker, Carmelo Red. That's numbered to 85. Serial numbers. That's something else we need to go over. Stargazing of LeBron James. LeBron James. Oh, I also got the Thunder. That's right. Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I remember it was a letdown of a break for the Thunder. Kessler Edwards, Day'Ron Sharp rookies. You saw I kind of went fast through some of those cards. They're kind of the less valuable cards. You know, if you're not a fan of the team, you're probably not holding on to those. You're finding a way to move them or donate them to a local card shop. They give them to the kids. Those types of things. All right, what package number are we on here even? I'm not even sure. 5? Package 5 of 10? This one is Midnight Pools. Also pretty cool dudes on Whatnot. Bought into a break with them. Midnight Pools. Chris Paul courtside. Tony Parker, 75 years of the NBA. All right. So as many of you may know that you're watching, or many of you don't know, I do break with Blez Sports Cards. I'm a breaker there. I've been breaking with them for over a year. Prior to that, I had Thrum Breaks, and we did some breaking and live ripping on TikTok. This is... Who's this from? Boy, this is a large order here. I remember winning a couple lots on Whatnot. And boy, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Nice. James Wiseman, blue rookie. Out of Flux. Jordan, little MJ. Giddy, Great Expectations. Cole Anthony, rated rookie. My House of Ja. Look at this Iverson. Flair Showcase, AI. Backstage Pass of Draymond Green. Lonzo Ball, Shimmer. MJ, Profiles, Jordan. Lonzo Red, Giannis, Shimmer. Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry, Shaq, Diesel. Season Achievements of MJ, LaMelo Ball, and Carmelo Anthony, Deja Vu. Young Lion, Shaq. Look at that card. Young Lion, Shaquille O'Neal. How cool is that? Anthony Edwards, Rookie and Stars. Donovan Mitchell. Sean Kemp, Collector's Choice. And a Jalen Green rookie. Nice. Shout out. I want to say that is Pitch King Sports. I want to say that's who that's from. It just has the name on the package. So as I was saying, I'm a breaker with Blez. Prior to that, Throne Breaks, we were breaking on TikTok. I still sell on Whatnot singles, but There's a lot, you know, as I'm doing this episode, it's episode 1, bear with me. As I'm doing this episode, I can tell everything that I want to cover now. I don't know why it took me doing this to discover that, but it did. Okay, Anthony Simons is my next Ultimate PC guy. So I've got quite a bit of Anthony Simons, and this one just adds to it. Ruby Wave, Anthony Simons, Portland Trailblazer. I think he's up next. I really do. I mean, he's already really talented. I think he's about to just be a superstar in the league. And sometimes when you're collecting, you're going after the guys that are about to be, like I said, up next, right? About to be the dude, about to be that guy. And Anthony Simons to me is him. Also, as I'm opening these, if there's anything that you guys want to hear about or have questions about or any of that, you know, please let me know in the comments. Please reach out. Follow me at Throne Breaks on Instagram and TikTok. You can also follow my, maybe this is from Pitch King Sports. No, this is the boy. This is my man, Dylan. Lions Den TC at the Lions Den on Instagram. I need to get his name correct, but look at this. Sammy Sosa on the Orioles, 2005. Dwayne Eskridge, Rondell Moore rookie, Chuba Hubbard, Trey Lance. So he knows I'm a Niner fan. He knows I'm a Niner fan, a Guardians fan. So look at that, Tristan McKenzie right on cue. And then it looks like he sent me a couple slabs. What? So him and I, we've kind of been sending. So this is what makes the hobby great. I'm pausing this, guys. This is what makes the hobby so cool. Is you meet people, you kind of figure out what they like. If you kind of vibe with them, then you know I've sent him cards. He sent me cards first as a care package to his breaker, right? And then I sent him some cards. He's a big Miami guy. He's in Miami, loves the Dolphins, loves the Marlins, everything Miami, the Heat, right? And now he just sent me some back, and I didn't even know these were coming. So it's really cool, and that's what, like I said, that's what makes the hobby great. It's where people can care about people in a world where maybe people don't care enough about people. So there's my preach, okay? Back to overhead. Shout out Dylan, dude. Thanks, Lions Den. Thank you, Lions Den. I wonder what these are. He just sent me slabs? Did we make a deal? I don't even remember. You know what? I think we did make a deal, but he threw in some extras. Shout out Lions Den, though. Because those cards that I just showed were not part of the deal. I got two. That's right. I got 2 PSA slabs from him. Tyler Hero, ball behind back, Prism rookie. And a Tyler Hero purple rookie out of NBA Hoops. Both PSA 9, both Miami Heat guys. I was shocked he wanted to move them. I said, look, I'll buy them from you so you can just get them back from me. Shout out Lions Den. Good dude. Good dude. We got a lot of good people in the hobby. There are some real bad people too. Don't get it twisted, but you can separate yourself from those. It's not too hard. It's not too hard. Gosh, yeah, there's so much I want to cover. What is breaking? What does it mean to break? Who's this from? Who is this from? It's pink. Oh, it's Chicken. Chicken 1 of 1. So Chicken 1 of 1 is massive in the UFC market. UFC category, and he runs these case breaks where you pick a fighter and you pay for the fighter. And I got 2 last time. Uriah Hall. Wow, these are packaged very nicely, Chicken. Well done. I got Shamil and Uriah Hall. I didn't hit much big. But UFC category, check it out. Check out Chicken 1 of 1. Look at my guy. It's too good. Chicken 1 of 1, my man. It's a lot of Shamils. And then the Uriah Halls. Uriah. Ooh, I did hit a Uriah Hall auto. Interesting. Uriah Hall auto, Octagon Action Signatures. Out of Select. All right, I don't remember seeing the Uriah Hall auto during the break, but I was checking in and out. It was a 3-case break, so, and it was during the fights, which was a massive day for the UFC category on Whatnot, for sure. For sure. So, as I was saying earlier, that was my mail day. It's been sitting around my house for about a month and a half. Happy that I finally opened it. Check out the stack. Look at the stack. Look at the stack of cards. And that's not including the chicken. Not including the chicken 1 of 1 cards. Look at this. Next to my... Look at this. Anyways. Gotta love the hobby. Gotta love collecting. Gotta love it all. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Throne Breaks, episode 1. Debut episode. I'm gonna get better. We'll get better together. So, like I said, we're gonna have guests on. I'm hoping to get C. Blez on. If you're in the industry, you know about him. He's gonna talk everything hobby. I'm hoping to get some Funko Pop people on. Chicago Toy Company. Beantown Breaker, Chicken 1 of 1 to talk UFC. But we're going to cover all the bases. We're going to start... Every episode is going to start with some learning. Then we're going to do a mail day or most likely guest interviews, hopefully. And then we're going to just close out looking ahead. So what's ahead for us? World Cup starts November 20th. Start to invest in your soccer cards. It's Messi's last one. Potentially Ronaldo's last one. I believe he said it is. Those guys, those cards are going to just be massive, right? The World Cup is going to just elevate everyone's soccer cards. Harvey Elliott's of the world, the Pedris of the world. Those are cards that you need to be on the lookout for, and hopefully they perform well in the World Cup, and it's just going to skyrocket the value of the cards. So again, if you have any questions, anything you want to learn about, anything you want to see, anything, honestly, please reach out. Follow me on Instagram at Throne Breaks. Follow me on TikTok at Throne Breaks. Follow me on Instagram as well, BigAl_Rips. That's my personal one. Follow Titan Media Collective. Follow TitanTV. Follow us all. But if you want to see something, let me know. If you want to talk cards, if you have just the simplest of questions, please reach out. I know the card industry pretty well. I've been breaking for a little over a year with Blez Sports Cards, and I was collecting much before that. We had Throne Breaks going a little bit. So anything that you want to know, don't hesitate. Please reach out. Let's make a deal even. If you're looking to make a deal, let's make a deal. Let's trade. Let's do what me and Lions didn't do. Let's just be, I don't know, what is it? Post notes? What is that? Whatever it is, right? Let's be card sending buddies. Anyways, thanks for watching the debut episode of Throne Breaks. I cannot wait to do this again. I think I got 15 more. So if you hated it, I'm sorry. I'll see you 15 more times. If you loved it, you're welcome. I'll see you 15 more times. Signing out, and always, never forget. Don't forget how awesome you are. See you guys.
Fact number 4, George Washington did not know that Chinese people were not white. He was surprised when he first encountered a Chinese person.
False?
Nope, that one's real.
Really?
That's why they cut that song from Hamilton. It was a little hard to digest. Fact 5. Grant, this is for you.
I'm all for it.
It's Paul Revere, not Sam Adams, on the label of Samuel Adams beer.
Ooh, what a crock of
The only historical evidence I have for you here is there's a famous painting of Paul Revere in which he's a lot shorter and fatter than the guy on the Sam Adams beer.
Everybody knows that Paul Revere is not like a beer bottle guy. You know,
let's just say he wasn't walking from house to house. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go bang.
All right, well, it is true. It's a dinger. God, you guys
I'm sorry,
suck.
I misled you.
You guys are really,
Have we
really
gotten
bad at
any
this
right
game.
yet?
Yeah, Grant has 1 point. Fact number 6. Benjamin Franklin's private notes included a design for a water wheel bidet that he never got around to building.
In France, they had this toilet that shot water up my ass.
Yeah.
But
and
over
you
here,
needed
we
it.
don't have fancy European plumbing. We've got no aqueducts, so we need a water wheel to shoot water up my ass.
You need that water wheel after all that mac and cheese because you're a little stopped up. You know what I mean?
That sounds more like a Da Vinci thing than a Franklin.
There you
So I'm
go
just-
again. Fucking thinking.
My heart says that Benjamin Franklin wanted a bidet.
Okay.
The correct answer is false.
My heart is an idiot.
Why did you listen to me? Why did you listen to me?
Fact number 7.
Because I trust you, Grant.
John Adams had a dog named Satan. Satan lived in the White House with the president.
Here's Satan. Come here, boy.
And that's a great name for a
Come
dog.
here, Satan. I hope that Satan just wasn't potty trained and all over the place.
God damn
You
it,
know what I
Satan
mean?
pissed
I
over
thought
the
he
floor
was,
again.
I hope he was the best trained dog, but he just made way too much eye contact.
Yeah, yeah.
So he just sat there staring all the time.
You just wake up and he'd be looking at you.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's got to be true.
That is true.
it is
Dang
true
it.
that there's a dog outside your door.
Grant has
Nailed
2
it.
points.
Shut up, Case.
It's a big dog too.
God.
Hi everyone, Kaleigh Krish here, coming to you live from my set. That is right. Look, first off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on the premiere night of TitanTV. I really hope that you all have enjoyed all of the content you've seen, but do not go anywhere because we still have some amazing creators coming up, including myself. That's right, you are about to watch my show, Who Wore It Best? Jersey Royale. Each week, we will take a look at some of the greatest players to ever wear a particular number. And at the end of the show, I will pick who I think wore it best. You'll get stats, fun facts, career highlights, all of the above. It is going to be a really fun time, and I am so ready to share it with you. But first, I thought that I would share a little bit more about myself. First, I have loved sports my entire life. And lucky for me, I have gotten to see some of the greatest players to ever play the game. I mean, gunslinging Brett Favre, the actual GOAT Michael Jordan, Barry Bonds, Jenny Finch, Mia Hamm, Tom Brady, the list goes on and on and on. So we are gonna have plenty to cover in this show. Now, why am I so interested in taking this little journey with you? Well, I started my sports career covering baseball at Cal State Fullerton, where I attended, Go Titans, and I loved being able to watch the game, keep up with the stats, an individual's career highlights, and then be able to talk to them on the field after the game about everything that we had just seen. It was incredible. After college, I took a job with the San Jose Sharks, and I worked my way up from being a graphics operator to the in-game host of their minor league team, the Barracuda. For some of the best fans to ever be in an arena. They were amazing. And that was some of the most fun times I've had. Prior to the game, I would give season recaps and game previews, and then interview players and coaches during intermission. At the same time, I was also covering football from the sidelines of Stanford, where I was lucky enough to cover Christian McCaffrey's college career, to Cal and the Jared Goff era, to the Rose Bowl when Stanford defeated Iowa. I've covered the Georgia Bulldogs, self-proclaimed national champs UCF, the flashy Miami U, the list goes on and on. So why did I want to create this show? Out of all of the years I have been covering sports, seeing all of these incredible athletes across generations got me thinking, who wore it best? And because the numbers become the identity of a player, I mean, 23 is synonymous with MJ, 42, Jackie Robinson, 12, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, And that, case in point right there, who wore it best? Look, sometimes you may not agree with me. Sometimes I might leave some of the great players off of the list, but either way, we're gonna have a really good time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the very first episode of Who Wore It Best? Jersey Royale. Hello, what up everyone? Welcome to Who Wore It Best? Jersey Royale. I am your host, Kaleigh Krish. Thanks so much for joining me on our first episode here on TitanTV. So, what is this show all about anyway? Well, I am so glad that you asked. Each week, I will pick a number at random, well, or not. Maybe just a number I want to talk about because it's my show and I can do that if I want. But anyway, we'll pick a number somehow, and then we take a look at the best athletes in all of sports to don that very number. Yes, that means football, baseball, hockey, basketball, even soccer players, hell, volleyball. Let's throw some softball ladies in there as well, people. I don't care who it is. I just want to see the best of the best, all right? We're going to go through the top 3 players, take a look at their stats, their career, dig deep on some fun facts about them too. We need it all to make this decision of the greatest number of all time, right? So, while we're strolling down memory lane, when we are done, I will decide who wore that number best. And then the others are just really afterthoughts at that point, okay? All right, let's get into it. This week, we are looking at number 4. Number 4? You say? Yes, why not? I mean, look, there's something that you guys need to know about me before we start this relationship here. All right, I am a diehard Packers fan. And yes, this season blows. And yes, I'm dying a little bit inside every single day about it. But that's neither here nor there. But what a better way to kick off my show than by getting to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the greatest QB of my heart, Brett Favre. All right. We will get to that in just a minute. But first, we're going to start off our inaugural show, our Jersey Royale with the NHL, with number 4, Bobby Orr. Bobby Orr is one of the greatest defensemen of all time. He actually changed the way his position was played. Prior to him joining the Bruins in 1966, it wasn't that typical for defensemen to score. This guy would change all that. In his rookie season, he skated up and down the ice, circles around guys, and he was awarded the Calder Memorial Trophy to honor the best rookie of the year. 2 seasons later, Bobby would lead his team to the Stanley Cup Finals, where the Bruins would sweep the St. Louis Blues or would score the winning cup goal that gave us this little beauty right here. Yep, that's called the flight. And, of course, he was named MVP. Now, side note, that picture, you guys, no helmets. Do you see that? He was a defenseman flying across the ice, for Christ's sakes. No helmets. I'm telling you, hockey is nuts. Anyway, the next season was one for the books as well. Orr would score 37 goals and 102 assists and hold the highest plus-minus in a single season, a record that is still unbroken today. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's what you want to see when you're talking about the best of the best, right? Now, Orr would take his Bruins back to the Stanley Cup in 1972, defeating the New York Rangers in 7 games. He would again score the winning series goal and be awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy for the 2nd time, something no other player had done. Now, Bobby would retire at the end of the 1978 season due to nagging knee injuries. But here's the cool part. Instead of waiting the mandatory 3 years after retirement to be entered into the NHL Hall of Fame, Orr was inducted that very same year, making him the youngest player to do so. That's pretty awesome. Okay, folks, that is the first on our list of 3. And I gotta say, this is a career worthy of being the number 4. But we have another one to get to. Now it's time to talk about the next greatest number 4, and that is Brett Favre. Brett was drafted 33rd to the Atlanta Falcons in 1991. And side note, for my guy Al from Throne Breaks, that's the show just before mine. If you guys didn't check it out, what's wrong with you? You're missing a lot. He's got some great content. Go check it out. I mean, after my show, but go check it out. Okay, anyway, Al, my dream has always been to have a Brett Favre Atlanta Falcons jersey, so hint, hint, let's make it happen. All right, back to this guy's career. After his rookie season, Green Bay traded a first-round pick, something I don't think they've done since, for the backup, but at least this one would pay off. Favre played 16 seasons with the Packers. He led his team to 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 31, and became the first NFL player to win 3 straight MVP awards. After starting the 92 season as a backup for Green Bay, Favre would get his first NFL start in Week 4, which would begin the longest consecutive start streak in NFL history. Yes, Brett would end his career starting every game from September 20th, 1992 to January 20th, 2008. That is 297 regular season games. That's right, that's not even counting playoffs. It's incredible. Favre had one of his best seasons in 2009 after signing with the Minnesota Vikings. He recorded 4,000 passing yards and threw 33 touchdowns against just 7 interceptions, guiding the Vikings to a 12-4 record and a spot in the NFC Championship game. Now, that interception ratio is pretty impressive, seeing as how Brett still holds the record for most passes intercepted. Whoops. Brett Favre retired in 2011 with records in passing yards with 71,838 and in touchdowns with 508, which both have since been surpassed. Stupid Tom Brady, am I right? Yes. In 2015, Brett Favre was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame on a rainy Thanksgiving night in Lambeau Field, a game which I was at. It was my very first and so far only Packers game at Lambeau Field. It was absolutely incredible. The next year, my guy was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, which was a tearjerker for sure. All right, people, I don't know how you expect me to top those numbers. That is an incredible career. We do have one more candidate to go, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But another incredible number 4 is, of course, Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig. Now, speaking of amazing consecutive streaks, Lou played for the Yankees from July 15th, 1923 to April 30th, 1939, a whopping 2,130 consecutive games. Now that streak was unbroken for 56 years, until a guy named Cal Ripken Jr. came along. Maybe you've heard of him. Anyway, Lou's career numbers are already impressive, and I'm sure they would be even crazier if he was not forced to end his career at the age of 36. But in his 17-year career, the big lefty won 6 world championships, 2 MVPs, and a Triple Crown. Now, this is a guy who played alongside the likes of Babe Ruth, who was part of Murderers Row lineup, and he still made a huge impact on a dominating group of ball players. Now, in his career, he held the record for the most Grand Slams with 23. That stuck until 2013 when Alex Rodriguez hit his 24th Grand Slam. He ended up finishing his career with 25 overall and still holds that record. Now, one more incredible fact about the Iron Horse is that he was the first ever baseball player, he was the first ever player to have his number retired. That's pretty freaking epic. Love that. Well, there you have it. Those are the top 3 players to ever wear the number 4. Okay, but on this show, we don't just tell you the stats and send you on your merry way. No, I will decide who wore it best. We need some judgment, okay? Look, I didn't want to start off this show with some easy gimme, so this one took me a minute to filter through. I gotta say, especially because of Favre, okay? But the player who wore the number 4 best. Drum roll, please. This is the drum roll. Of course, it's gotta be Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse. All right, in his 17-year career, Gehrig batted .340. That's his entire career. 2,721 hits and racked up 493 home runs. Look, the guy was a 7-time All-Star, and do I have to say it? 6 World Championships. And plus, I mean, he was the first ever baseball player to be on a Wheaties box, for crying out loud. All right, there you have it. Lou Gehrig for the win. Alrighty, folks, make sure that you go ahead, like and comment, like this content, turn on the notifications, and of course, subscribe to Titan TV for more Who Wore It Best Jersey Royale. And hey, if there's a number that you want to see battle it out, make sure you leave me a note in the comments. All right, see y'all next week for another Jersey Royale.
My name is Cory. You can call me Kelly.
Hi there. How's it going?
My name is Gabriel Hales.
Hi, my name is Little Percent. I've never played Dead by Daylight, so Gamer Hales and Hero Cory are going to teach me how to play today. I'm scared. Control, I think, is crouch. Oh my god, I'm literally sweating.
I'm excited
These
because
hands are gonna betray.
I remember playing for the first time and just like you get so like scared. You're like, ah! So I'm excited to hear those.
All right, I have a perk that shows that there's gens nearby. Oh, there's one here. There's one further down if we kept going, by the way.
Okay.
Oh. Maybe I just stay here forever. Maybe we don't. Oh,
I
just
see you over there. Is that you?
You're just crouching. I'm just
Oh shit!
What was that noise?
Sorry.
What was that noise?
Come over here. It's the gen we're working on. It's 'cause
I don't know where over here is, but
Did you see us?
Nope.
She was right next to us.
I didn't see you. I'm looking for.
If you see the killer, let
Okay.
us know what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah, I'll describe it in great detail while I'm running for my life.
They're
That'll
not people.
Work out really
It's the
well.
not person. Oh wow, I'm surprised. The killer is not a person. All right, there's one over here.
Okay, I definitely see
here.
the killer. I definitely saw the killer.
Did
it's
you?
Cool. It looked like a clown, low key.
Oh, okay, then
I'm
it's a
gonna
clown.
run this way.
I don't know. I don't know if I know what the clown is.
But I don't know. They were on the left side of the field. Ooh, that's a generator. Do we think that one's working?
You want it
They
to
will all not work.
Unless you're
no
just past the
option.
one we did.
I think I'm just past
I really
that one.
want to
Look,
see
this
her
guy
point
and
of
I
view.
just running around in the back here. We're like, what are we doing? We're just having a good time, me and Rando. There's a meat hook. You guys said stay away from that, so I'm gonna do that.
Oh, here you are. There you are. Come. Come here.
I found you. Where is she? Oh,
You're
hi.
gonna do the gen.
Just take your time. Just
No,
take your time. She's so
come do the
casually
gen.
walking. Sorry.
Oh God!
On the left, on the left, on the left, on the left, on the left.
Run.
Oh no!
Run,
Of
run,
course,
run,
of
run,
course
run,
he
run,
goes
run,
for
run,
LT.
run,
I'm gonna save you.
He looks
Okay,
like
we're gonna
oh,
finish
he's a
this up.
ghosty boy. Oh,
Yes,
I wiggle.
great
Do
job.
not press him. Do not ever take a chance. By the way, if that comes up, you'll just die
Great
immediately.
advice.
Okay. Yes.
Otherwise
I'm not
you'll
gonna
just be
take
out
the
of the game.
chance. Listen, I saw him go off. I think he's hiding behind this rock, Loki.
Yeah, he's gonna face cam. I'm gonna get you. You're gonna have borrow
Oh no,
time.
he's,
Okay,
he's
you
over
got
there.
it.
He's. I'm looking at him. He's behind that little. Here he comes! Here he comes! Here he comes! I'm gonna.
Wait.
run.
I was like, where'd he go? Oh my god, my heart. My heart. This is useless, this is useless, this is useless.
Bit of a
Oh,
camper.
it's this guy.
So when the killer
This
kind
guy.
of sits and watches you on a hook, that's when he's considered a camper in a big butthole.
A big butthole. I see you, Hales. Thank you.
I'm gonna come, and I have borrowed time, so even if he hits you, you'll have an extra hit.
He's coming
Run,
back.
he's coming.
Okay. I hear someone coughing. I know that you
that
guys
might
are like...
be you.
Yeah, that's you because you're injured.
It's you.
Good. I'm so glad that I'm making so much noise. Oh, look,
Oh,
someone
he's
just
a one
felled
hit.
over there. Someone just got hit.
That's
I see
me.
him.
Hi.
Oh, hello! He's carrying your body away. I don't know where he's going.
Watch out. He might slice you. He can slice you even with me on the...
Okay.
Also, there's items around the map. They're usually in basements.
I see him like chasing after someone. I'm gonna try.
Run, 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 run. Yeah, run.
Well,
I
ran.
We're gonna run and
This
keep
ain't
running
going
straight,
great.
and I'm gonna heal you after. I'm gonna heal you, okay? So come over here now. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, okay, let's go. We're gonna stop that coughing, baby.
Woo!
The poor teammate's like, why?
We're doing well though, you know, like one hook each, 2 gens down. This is okay. Can you touch me now?
Oh yeah, I can touch you.
Chucks, checks.
I got our teammate. He's coming! He's coming! Run!
That's the
Teammate,
first
run!
Best chick I've ever hit.
Nice.
He's a big ol' poop. I like that. Oh fuck! Sorry.
Okay.
Almost right here, actually. Okay, hold on. We're gonna run away after, okay? Come,
Done.
come.
Okay.
Over here.
Oh, I see you guys. Hi.
Hi, where are you? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh shit,
Chill.
where is he? Where is he?
Oh, is he on that gen? Oh, I see. Yeah, he's looking for you.
Oh, there he is! I'm gonna lead him over.
Oh, he got up instead.
Oh no!
He did not see me at all.
I'll sacrifice him.
Anyways, I'll just
Try
get
to
the
get
Jen.
I'm gonna go down.
Oh, rip,
So you
rip
might
LP.
as well.
Is that your second hook?
Yeah.
That was my second hook. I'm gonna wiggle like my life depends on it. I'm gonna sing that wiggle song. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Damn it. I'm hooked. But I see you.
Okay, I'm gonna get you, and you're gonna have borrowed spot.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I did not get up.
The cigarette
Okay,
still in
good.
the mouth.
Oh no, he stopped coming after
It's
me.
cool.
Oh, he's
I skill
crouching.
checked. No, that was a bad skill check.
Okay, he's coming
It's
for me
cool.
now.
Oh, he's. Oh, he's got it!
Thank goodness for the stranger.
I'm so glad. Are you guys being chased? What's happening?
No.
That
I'm
was
on a
me.
jet
I was
now.
circling. I was circling. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away.
We seem to all
I
be
just
okay.
saw somebody. Where is this other? Oh shit! Who's that? Oh, that looks like our friend.
Yeah, if
I'm
you,
gonna.
there's a yellow aura on him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that is, but it's cool.
Okay, I'm repairing one of the gens. So
Good, keep doing that.
that's like a thing.
I bought you guys some time.
Oh shoot! I just exploded something.
Oh, hi, Hills.
Hi.
He's not going your direction.
Someone's on a hook over here.
That's me.
Okay,
Okay.
I see.
You're gonna have borrowed time.
Someone else.
You're gonna just run. You can take an extra hit.
Really?
Run
I
for
didn't
it,
know that
run.
is.
Yeah. I'll come heal you.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to this generator that I was working on since
It's not so much an extra hit as if he were to hit you as soon as you got off, you would survive. You would be able to take a hit for 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm repairing this generator, but he's coming for me, so I'm going to run away! I think I let him get a little bit too close, like low-key. That was probably not
He
the
thinks
best.
you're like, you were flirting. Now he's all over it.
Pretty
He's
much,
like,
yeah,
I was
pretty
just being
much.
nice.
I'm gonna take him around the whole map, though. We're gonna go on a nice
wait,
little,
wait.
nice little hunt.
Wait, buddy. Wait.
You
Here,
me.
oh, yeah.
I'll take it.
Let's
I'll
go.
take it. She just wants
Heal
me.
party.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
I
you just
hear-
got hit. Run!
Oh, oh.
Oh, I hear.
Oh, there you are, LP.
Hi.
I don't see you.
It's okay. I see.
I'm gonna go back to this. Oh, this generator's on, right?
Watch out, he might be.
They all kind of run. If there's no option to fix it, then. Okay. Noted. I'm literally just running.
So when they're done, they're lit up.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I figured.
We are, what's his face? Curly Nightmare and I are working on one. We're almost done.
Yeah, Curly Nightmare's pretty chill. I can't lie.
Thank God bless Curly Nightmare. Oh,
I don't know where you guys are, but
done.
Happy to be.
He's on me, so I am just like hanging around with a car.
Oh look, this is a generator I can repair. Let's do that. Okay. Just coughing, hammering things, making lots of noise. Oop, I saw somebody go down. Who was
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. Oh, I see you getting lifted into the air.
I can't heal you, bro. Oh, I can heal him. Oh. He communicated. He asked me to heal him.
I love when they communicate with the bodies.
I thought I couldn't heal him because my medkit was all used up.
You can still heal each other.
Closer.
Oh,
that really hurt, mother of Toledo.
right in front of my eyes.
That was so I was so ready to be the savior. Oh, that one was right there. Oof. That was my third hook, so I think I just got eaten.
Wait, Hales, you're on a hook?
Yeah, could you come get me? I'm just hanging out.
I actually have to get you, yeah, because you're dying. Oh, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can make it. I'm on the other side. Hang in there. I can't
trying.
fast.
It's okay. You know what? Probably. Oh no!
He literally camped. Oh my God. He was just crouched waiting for me. You butthole.
Was.
You are a
first game though.
butthole,
That was
sir.
really impressive, LP. That was good.
I stayed the game.
Curly Nightmare's probably like, why did that girl just leave?
friends, welcome to the first episode of Boozin' on a Budget, where we are mental about the fermented. I don't know about you, but I drank my way through the pandemic. Not only did I drink my way through the pandemic, I researched, I learned, I read about wine, I read about whiskey, tequila, rum, beer, distillation, marketing, all these things. While I was drinking, I was reading and researching. I was spending my time researching and reading all about this stuff. My friends, I'll tell you what, the obsession started out with wine. I've always been a beer guy, a cocktail guy, take a shot. It started out with wine. When I started drinking wine, somebody turned me on to wine. I could not learn enough about it. There was a vast amount of information out there that was, to be quite honest with you, pretty intimidating. And I had no idea what I was doing with wine. So I set out to learn as much as I could about wine. During that journey, I started learning about whiskey, rum, tequila, vodka, all kinds of different things, craft beer, craft distillers, craft whiskey. There's all these things happening in the booze industry that I used to just kind of knock it back, go out on the weekend, have some drinks with friends, but I started learning that there's a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information out there about the things that we can drink, and I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn so that I didn't feel intimidated going to the liquor store. That's what Boozin' on a Budget is all about. We're going to learn as much as we can about all the fermented beverages that we can so that we can gain knowledge and information and feel a little less intimidated when we go into the liquor store, into the bar, the wine bar, the brewery, whatever it may be. Not only are we going to cultivate knowledge, information, and appreciation for our alcoholic beverages, we're going to do so all with considering our budget. Budget is tight these days. Money is tight these days. The most important thing for me, considering my budget, was I wanted to experience the best wines that I could experience, the best whiskeys, the best beer, the best rum, whatever it is. I wanted to experience the best spirits, the best wine for the best budget that I could find them. And you know what? I stumbled upon something that happens in the wine world called QPR, quality to price point ratio. Now what QPR means is that we're going to find the highest quality wine, beer, whiskey, whatever it may be. We're going to find the highest quality for the lowest price. It's about value. And what QPR means, QPR does not always mean cheap. You can find a $100 bottle of wine that has QPR. You can find a $10 bottle of wine that has QPR. QPR does not mean cheap. It has more to do with the quality of what you're getting for the price that you paid. In the industry, you will hear things like, this is a high QPR wine. This $25 Paso Robles wine drinks like $125 Napa Valley wine. So that is good QPR. QPR, quality to price point ratio, is started in the wine world. However, I believe that we can apply QPR across the board to all the alcoholic beverages. Because again, here at Boozin' on a Budget, we want to find the highest quality beverages for the lowest price that we can find them for without sacrificing quality. We're going to find the best stuff for the best value. Now, I'm all about appreciation. Like I said, as I get a little bit older, as I get a little bit deeper into the knowledge and the information of this stuff, I'm starting to cultivate an appreciation for this, an appreciation for the science behind distillation, the science behind winemaking. The more I learn, the more I appreciate, really take in the experience of what I'm having. So how do we cultivate appreciation? We're going to slow down. We're going to be mindful about what we're doing. We're going to use our palate, our nose, our eyes. We're going to take the time to really slow down and smell what we're drinking, smell our wine, smell our whiskey, smell our rum. We're going to slow down and taste it on our palate. We're not just going to knock it back to get drunk. We're going to sip it. We're going to appreciate it. We're going to look at the color, the viscosity. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What notes can we get from it? When you start diving into the world, you start learning about this, you start gaining the knowledge, you can really get an appreciation for what you're drinking, and that's what we're looking for. So again, Boozin' on a Budget. Each episode we're going to focus on different alcoholic beverages, and we're just going to take the time to appreciate them, learn about them. We're going to do all this taking out the intimidation, the snobbery. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to take a lighter approach to it. There's no snobbery here. We're going to have fun with this. We're going to goof around, but we're going to certainly learn and appreciate. We're going to learn by drinking as we continue on. That's what Boozin' on a Budget is all about.
Do I say bagel weird? a legit question. Do I say bagel weird? Yes? But what do you guys say? Isn't that what I'm saying?
All right, guys, we're back. We're going to go into a segment that I like to call binge thinking. Each week, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, some pro tips, if you will. We're going to learn about all kinds of stuff. We're going to really dive in. We're going to get detail specific on some of this stuff. Each week is going to have some tips, some tricks. We're going to learn about very specific stuff in binge thinking that's going to just heighten your appreciation and your knowledge of alcoholic beverages. This week in our segment, binge thinking, I want to talk about fermentation. Let's start at the beginning. Fermentation. What is fermentation? Well, my friends, fermentation is where the magic happens. Fermentation is what brings us the alcohol in all the beverages that we truly enjoy. Fermentation is the chemical reaction when yeast eats sugar in the absence of oxygen and creates two byproducts, carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. You know, you've seen those pictures of the bubbling beer vats. It's bubbling and foaming up to the top. That's the CO2 coming off as the yeast eats the sugar in our wine, in our beer, in our whiskey mash, all that stuff. That's what creates the alcohol, the feel-good stuff, fermentation. Fermentation has been around for a long, long time. People have used fermentation to create food, drinks, alcoholic beverages, all kinds of stuff. Back in the day, they used fermentation as medicine. Evidence of the first fermented alcoholic beverages come from 7000 to 6600 in Neolithic China, where there is some evidence of fermented beverages used from fruit, honey, and rice. There's a lot of conjecture about when fermentation actually happened. It's kind of, you got to go back in history. They were fermenting before that for food and all that good stuff, but we're going to focus on the alcohol. When you hear people talking about secondary flavors in wine, whiskey, other products like that, and you're like, where are those flavors coming from? Where is all that stuff coming from? It's fermented grape juice, it's whiskey, it's beer. What is all that stuff coming from? A lot of secondary flavor characteristics come from the actual fermentation process. And that process, it varies. There's different ways to ferment things. Ferment beer, ferment wine, different fermentation processes that produce different results. We're going to cover those for each specific alcohol that we do cover in our shows. But just suffice it to say right now, there is so much to be said about fermentation and what it adds to a drink, what it adds to the wine, these secondary flavor characteristics. So much of that stuff starts in the fermentation process. Our next segment is going to include a guest. We're going to bring some guests on from the industry. I'm in the process of lining up some wonderful guests. I'm going to have some bar owners, a winery owner, somebody deep in the beer industry, bartenders, other industry professionals, sommeliers, all kinds of guests we're going to bring on here. We're going to get their perspective. We're going to hear their stories. And we're going to gain some knowledge, some information from all over the industry. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to, talking to some other people, getting some other perspectives, bringing in some information from all around the alcohol industry. One of my guests I'm excited to bring on, they own a mobile bar service. Mobile bar services, very popular these days. So we're going to have a guest segment. We're going to bring some people on via live, via Zoom, whatever the case may be. But stay tuned for that. I've got an entire slate of guests lined up. You're not going to want to miss that. All kind of industry insiders, professionals. We're going to hear from all sorts of people. Look forward to our guest segment. All right, guys, our next segment is Drink of the Week. Each week, I'm going to feature a certain drink. Maybe a beer, maybe a cocktail, maybe a glass of wine, maybe a margarita. We're going to feature some type of drink of the week. It's going to be seasonal. It's going to be relevant maybe to what we're looking at seasonal wise. All right, my friends, each episode is going to feature a drink of the week. Tonight, I'm sipping on a craft whiskey, a straight bourbon whiskey from Austin, Texas, called The Musician. The distillery is called Still Austin. I popped this open tonight, and I gotta tell you what, I'm loving it. The grains are 100% from Texas. This happens to be 70% white corn, 25% rye, and 5% malted barley. It's coming in at 98.4 proof. If you're thinking to yourself, what's a mash bill? What does proof mean? We're going to cover all that stuff in upcoming episodes. We're gonna educate ourselves on that. So if you don't know what that stuff is, don't feel bad. We're gonna come back to that. But this one really good. I popped this open. It's got caramel. It's got toasted marshmallow, a little bit of cinnamon. It's sweet. It's got a little bit of spiciness from the rye. Really good stuff from the craft distillery in Austin, Texas. All right, my friends, our last segment tonight, is called pairs with. One of the biggest things that I started learning when I started really researching, doing a deep dive on wine and all these things, was that people are not just drinking this stuff, they're pairing it with their meals, they're pairing it with their food, and they're doing that at a high level. Well, what does pairing mean? Pairing means taking a specific wine, pairing it with a specific dish. A red wine going with red meat. White wine going with a little bit of seafood or a little white sauce. Red wine with a little bit of red sauce for pasta or pizza. Zinfandel wine with barbecue. Whiskey with a cigar. That is the next level of appreciation that we can find when we're talking about our adult beverages. And I tell you what, there is a little bit of magic that happens when you get your first pairing. It's like, seriously, you'll hear people talking about this all the time. When you start pairing your beverages with your meals, it is a next level of appreciation. When you do something well, when you pair something well, the alcoholic beverage tastes better and the food tastes better. The first thing I paired that really, really blew my mind was I started reading that Gewürztraminer, which is a white wine, pairs well with sort of that sweet and spicy Asian food. And I tell you what, so I got some sweet and sour chicken or something like that. I paired it with my Gewürztraminer, and my mind was blown. I truly paired something up that night that made the food and the wine taste better. So we're gonna dive in all about pairing. Each week, we will talk about what pairs with what, how to pair things together. We're gonna talk about pairing our food with our drinks to get the most out of our meals and our alcoholic beverages. If you're not pairing things, that's one of the biggest things you need to do. You're down here, you start pairing things, you're up here. That kicks you into a whole other level of appreciation. We're gonna start pairing all this stuff together. You can pair rum, you can pair tequila, you can pair your beer. It's gonna open up an entire new world of sensory experiences, and that is what we're here to do. We're here to appreciate, here to really dive deep into just experiencing these different things, and we're gonna do that all with finding the best stuff that we can without breaking the bank. All right, guys, let's talk about our next episode. In our next episode of Boozin' on a Budget, we're going to talk all about what to bring to Thanksgiving dinner, what pairs well with Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to talk about wines, we're going to talk about our beer, our whiskey, bourbon bacon Thanksgiving time. We're going to talk about all that, what to bring to Thanksgiving dinner, what pairs well with all of those dishes, what alcohol you can bring to best dull your senses when you're talking to your family who have differing political opinions than you. We're going to talk about all that stuff in relation to Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving time of year. So stay tuned for our next week's episode of Boozin' on a Budget. We're going to get all into Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about seasonal stuff. We're going to have some binge thinking. We're going to talk about some detailed stuff. We're going to increase our knowledge, increase our awareness, increase our appreciation. We're going to do all that without breaking our bank, because that's what Boozin' on a Budget is all about. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. TitanTV. We'll see you guys next week on Boozin' on a Budget. Look at the bottle. Come on now. She's playing her hair as a guitar. There's like a red bird. It's fantastic. Pairing the stuff with the wine and the food and the stuff. It's good. It makes it so good.
Fact number 8. George Washington once proposed sentencing prisoners of war to compete in a tournament similar to the modern Ninja Warrior.
Washington was a animal.
I can't imagine this is false, but I have gotten so wrong on everything I've done. My heart says false.
That is correct.
Yes!
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is my favorite mental image, though. Fact number 9, we're getting close now. It's 2-1. Grant, you can win if you get this right, and then we'll just do number 10 for fun, and then in case we get lit on fire. Number 9, Franklin was not very good at math, and most of his experiments with electricity relied heavily on trial and error.
Gotta ding that. Yeah,
Yes!
for sure.
That is correct!
Yeah, Franklin was an idiot. Everybody knows that.
Well, Case, the fun thing about this is that you're going to be on fire. We're going to do number 10 anyway. The Founding Fathers thought that Independence Day would be celebrated on July 2nd.
So the July 4th is the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Bonus
So
fact! Bonus fact! Most people signed in August.
Yeah, actually, I knew it took a while for the rest of them to, because it was, you know, back in the day, they didn't have a fax machine. I'm gonna say true.
That is true. It doesn't matter.
Ooh, here's a question. If you had to bang a founding father, which one?
Franklin would be down.
Franklin would be down. I'd have to go to Franklin.
Big juicy too.
Well, Grant, I'm happy to say that you are the winner of this miniature Man Bites dog.
Yay!
So you get a, I don't know, you're.
Give me some Mike.
So, Case, it is now time for you to be lit on fire. Would you like to scream?
What camera do I look into?
Not that one.
Okay.
Nope.
Am I going left or right?
I was just kidding. There's only one camera.
Oh.
Check out Man Bites Dog wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks anyway.